Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crooked Hour. It's been a while since I've said that, but I'm back hopefully. But we're doing a little video today, going to be going through over this next year, 2024, who do I think are going to be the champions at the end of the year. On the screen I have all the current champions, and as the video goes on I'm going to be showing each fighter that I think is going to be the champion by the end of next year, and we can reflect at the end of next year, see how many I truly got right. So starting off with Wei Li Zhang. Now Wei Li Zhang is a dominant champion. She's a great champion. And you might be like, who do you think is going to beat her? My answer to that is nobody. Nobody's going to beat Wei Li Zhang. I mean, when we're really looking at who she has to verse, unless she goes up and fights Grasso, I mean, there's Carla Esparza, Yan Xiaonan, Tatiana Suarez, Amanda Lemos, Jessica Andrade. I just don't see any of these people beating her, especially in the next year. Maybe give it 2 years and some of these people lower down might come up and prove themselves. But I think over this next year, she's just going to be remaining the champion. Like, she might fight Yan Xiaonan, maybe some other fighters, but I think they're getting run through. Next up, Alexa Grasso. I don't know if this is going to be a popular one. I don't know if you guys are going to hate this one. You guys might be like, oh, what are you talking about? But I love Alexa Grasso. I was going for her against Valentina, but I ultimately think Erin Blanchfield's going to be the champion by the end of 2022. I mean, she's fighting Manon Fiorot next, and I think she wins that matchup through grappling, although I think she's going to look good on the feet because she always does. She doesn't look good, but she makes it work. But I feel like, Manon Fiorot is going to pick her apart on the feet, but Blanchfield's going to get those takedowns when she has to. I think she's going to be champion. I think she's going to beat Alexa Grasso, and then probably maybe towards the end of the year do another fight, maybe even against Valentina or another up-and-comer. You never know what might happen in the next year. So, but I'm going Erin Blanchfield for champion by the end of 2022. Next up, who do I think is going to be champion in the women's bantamweight division after Nunes, retired? Nobody's champion, but Raquel Pennington and I can't say this name, Maria Briano Silva is going to fight. And other than that, I mean, you're looking at Ketlin Vieira, Irene Aldana, Holly Holm, and I just think Mary Warner Silva is going to win that matchup, and I think she keeps her title. She probably fights one of these other up-and-comers, maybe like Juliana Pena, but I think she beats them. She's looking good, and I think she's only improved, and I think she's going to be champion by the end of this year, but maybe next year. Well, it's not the new year yet, but you know what I'm saying. She might lose after that. Next up on the list, we have flyweight Pantoja. Who's Pantoja going to lose to? Or will he remain champion? And guess I'm saying he's remaining champion. I mean, if anybody was going to beat him, I would say Brandon Moreno would beat him, but he's lost to him 3 times now, so I don't see anybody else. Maybe Manel Cap could come through. Maybe Muhammad Makayev, but Muhammad Makayev has been looking sus in fights lately, like getting tangled up and, nearly losing certain matchups. But I feel like Pantoja is going to keep his title for this next year and probably the year after too, to be fair. Flying through this, next up we got Bantamweight, Sean O'Malley. Now, what's going to happen in Bantamweight? Who do I think is going to be champion by the end of 2024? I'm going Merab, baby. I'm going Merab. You might be like, where you going Merab? This makes no sense. Merab's shit. Merab's this, Merab's that. But it ultimately comes down to the fact that I think Merab does beat a Sean O'Malley. He's got real tight boxing, like really good defense, and he's just grappling style. I can see it just like being a boring, annoying fight. I don't think he finishes Sean O'Malley, but I can just see him like relentless takedown. Constantly annoying Sean O'Malley, and I think he wins it. And then I think, if he does decide to fight again, He's fighting Henry Cejudo. I think he beats Henry Cejudo, and then with Aljamain moving up, I think he fights Sean O'Malley, becomes champion towards the end of the year, and that's his year done. So I'm gonna go Merab. I think some of these other guys can cause him issues, but I don't think Henry Cejudo and Sean O'Malley are the ones to do that. Next up, we're going Volkanovski. Now, I was debating this one just a little bit. You know, I think Ilya's got a really good chance of beating him. As much as I love Volk, Ilya is a scary matchup for him. So it's either between him and Ilya, and then you never know what might happen over that next year. I mean, Josh Emmett with that, you know, but it could even happen like this. Like, Ilya could beat Volk, and then Max could fight him, and then Max could beat Ilya, and then Volk could fight Max, and then Volk could beat Max. That could all happen in this next year. So ultimately, though, if I had to pick somebody, if I had to put my money, I'm saying Volk retains his title for the year. I'm saying he beats Ilya, fights one of these upcoming guys. Maybe if Josh Emmett can get another good win, he'll fight Josh Emmett. Or maybe Arnold Allen will get another good win and he'll fight Arnold Allen. Other than that, I think Volk's clear. I think this is going to be his hardest matchup in the division for a while, though. I think their styles, you know, match together nicely, but they're both dangerous to each other. Next up, moving to lightweight. Now, Islam Makhachev. Now, people are confident Islam Makhachev's going to be champ for the next year, but me, I'm not so confident. I'm not so confident he's going to be champion next year. I'm saying Justin sleeps him. And I don't even dislike Makhachev. I like Makhachev. I just don't think Justin Gaethje is getting enough credit for this matchup and what he brings to the table. Islam hasn't fought a power puncher like Justin Gaethje, someone tight like Justin Gaethje, someone who can do that type of boxing style and have the grappling defense. And I don't think Islam is no Khabib on the ground, but I think his striking's way better, and I think he's going to tangle up with Justin in the striking. Justin's going to catch him. Islam has been chinned before, ages ago, I know, but I think Justin's going to win that matchup. And then he might defend against somebody else like an Arman Sarukian, and that is a good fight. Justin versus Arman Sarukian. But this is assuming Justin beats Arman Sarukian, which I'm not so sure. But I'm going to go Justin. You know, you never know what might happen. He might fight somebody else other than Arman. Moving up to welterweight. Now, this was a hard one, you know. Does Rocky Leon Edwards, boring style basically, Israel Adesanya 2.0, fucking boring fucking fighter, keep his title? Or does somebody take it off him? And I'm saying Shavkat Rakhmonov. I was going to go Bilal. But then I'm thinking Shavkat likely beats Bilal. So the way I'm seeing that happen, the way my gears are rotating here, hear me out. Bilal fights Leon Edwards next for the title. Bilal beats Leon Edwards for the title, which I do think happens, by the way, just because of Leon Edwards' last few performances. And then I think Shavkat beats Bilal towards the end of this year because they'll have to book that matchup. That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. You know, Shavkat Rakhmonov, champion by the end of 2024. Moving up to middleweight, Sean Strickland. You know, I love Sean Strickland. Probably my favourite fighter on the roster right now. Favourite active fighter on the roster right now. But I've thought about this. I've thought about middleweight. I've thought about how stupid middleweight can be. I've thought about everything that's happening, all the matchups made. You know, top 5's kind of dead if we're going to be honest. Like, Israel Adesanya's probably going to come back. I really do think Khamzat Chimaev, if they do book that fight, I think Khamzat Chimaev beats him. But I don't think Khamzat Chimaev gets a title shot this year. Or if he does, it might be against somebody who could possibly beat him. Let me explain. The way I see this happening, Sean Strickland beats Dricus du Plessis. Robert Whittaker beats Paulo Costa. With Dricus gone, Izzy probably fighting Harms at the meantime. Paulo beaten. I don't know if I said that. I think they book Sean Strickland versus Robert Whittaker. If that all happens, and they book that fight, I see Robert Whittaker probably beat him, and I don't think it's an easy fight at all. You know, I'm not here to gas up Robert Whittaker because, you know, I'm Australian, he's Australian, you know, one of my favourite fighters, but he's a little chinny, and I question where his heart is after his last performance. But if he gets past Paulo Costa, Dricus du Plessis loses to Sean Strickland, is that not the next matchup if Israel versus Khamzat Chimaev takes a while to book? Because you've got to remember, Israel Adesanya and Khamzat Chimaev are pretty inactive fighters. Well, Israel Adesanya isn't, but right now he sort of is. That's what I'm going to say happens. I haven't even put him on the screen yet, but I'm going to say Robert Whittaker champion by the end of this year, and then, you know, say Khamzat Chimaev does beat Izzy. You know, then you've got Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev, which, honestly, Robert Whittaker could win that fight. And then you've got, you got Israel Adesanya. If he beats Khamzat Chimaev, you know, you run that fight back with Robert, and, you know, Robert probably loses, but that's assuming that it happens in 2024, which it probably won't. That's my pick. Next up, light heavyweight. We have Alex Pereira as the champion currently. And who is he going to fight next? You know, there's rumors about him moving up to heavyweight. I honestly don't think that's going to happen. And if I think he does, I think he's going to lose to Tom Aspinall. I think he's going to return and fight before the end of the year. And especially if that goes to plan, if that happens, I think he fights Jamal Hill. And I think Jamal Hill is a terrible matchup for him. And this is probably the most unpopular opinion ever. And I'm not a Alex Pereira hater in the slightest. Him and Jamal Hill are my two favourite light heavyweights. You know, Alex Pereira went for him in nearly every one of his matchups. Massive fan, love his style, love his personality. But this is just going off fighting styles. I think Hill boxing is underrated, and, you know, Alex Pereira, a little chinny, can get hit by punches, straight punches on the outside. He gets his head cocked back a little bit. You know, we've seen it in multiple fights. And I think if Jamal Hill's landing those punches on you, I don't think it goes down well for Alex Pereira. You know, Alex Pereira might catch him, but I'm just saying this fight happens mid-year, towards the end of the year. Maybe Alex Pereira even racks up another defense in the meantime. Or maybe he loses and Jamal Hill fights the winner and Jamal Hill still beats him. Because I do see him beating most of these people on this list. And, you know, people underestimate Jamal Hill, but I think he's the real deal. And I think he's going to be the champ by the end of this year. Depending when he returns. I'm not too sure when he returns. Finally on the list, John Jones. Johnny Bones Jones will fight Stipe. And he may lose. I just got carried away then. I don't think he's going to lose. He will fight Stipe and then he'll probably retire or fight Tom Aspinall. Either way, I think Tom Aspinall beats him. And either way, if he does retire, Tom Aspinall is the champion of the world. So, there you have it. I think Tom Aspinall, undisputed heavyweight champion by the end of this year. You know, not the interim anymore. I think he's the full-fledged champion. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Please show some support. I'm coming back. And, you know, the support is what makes me want to stay. So, if you can support, much love to yous. Let me know if you agree with my list. Let me know which ones you'd change, which ones you'd keep the same. And yeah, peace out.
Give me 5 minutes, I'ma pull up with like 5 niggas.